We're visiting with the big men of the borough, ladies and gentlemen. It's Darren Brown, your mayor, and Borough Council President Alan Coffman. Let's get a little personal with you guys, if we could. Alan, how long have you been here in Chambersburg, and how long have you been serving the people of Chambersburg? Tell us a little bit about Alan.
We've resided in Chambersburg for 27 years, and I've been on council for 21 years.
And what brought you to the area?
Well, actually, we moved from the sort of the Mercersburg area over around Upton. We moved here. We had our son was about 3 years old when we moved here, and it was getting time to start thinking about school. Mm-hmm. And we spent a lot of time in Chambersburg, driving from Lamar Road to Chambersburg. So we decided we might as well move here, and that's what we did. We moved in the north end of town.
What were you doing before being the borough council president? What you take us through a little bit of Alan's life?
Okay, born and raised in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, so I know Waynesboro well.
Okay.
Worked in the local area here, Landis Tool Company, JLG, Jerdan, Little Tykes when they were still here. Mm. Now's Foods, Air Gas, now retired for be 3 years in August, but who's counting?
What did you do for all these folks? I mean,
various and sundry things.
All right.
Anything from engineering work, did some projects when I was at JLG, mechanical engineering work. Air Gas, I was the branch manager here in Chambersburg when they moved their operation here. For Little Tykes, I did purchasing work, and I did purchasing work for Now's Foods too.
Wow, you've had quite a busy life here.
A little bit, and in amongst that, I spent 35 years Army Reserve, so I found a way to balance the table, so to speak. And
your son now is in his mid-20s, heading towards 30. Yes.
No, he's 30.
Okay.
Be 31 the 3rd of March.
And all right. What's he doing?
He works for a contractor for the Chambersburg School District. Drives a van for that contractor, Tom Gift, and been doing that for a while.
Very good. All right. There's. Did you want to say anything about your bride? How long you been married?
1976 we got married.
Nice. Okay.
Bicentennial year, so it's not hard to remember the year.
Yeah, you better not forget that one.
That's right.
That's something interesting about Alan and I. Most people don't know this. Alan and I knew each other when I was a teenager because way on back.
You smashed a ball through his window or something.
No,
we went to the same church, and for a while, he and his wife were the youth directors there. And so I was one of the little teenagers in the youth group, and he was a youth director, and that's actually how we first got to know each other. And I remember even back then having political discussions. He taught me about the domino effect theory, that communism had to be stopped in Korea so that it wouldn't spread throughout the world in the same way that the Nazi regime did. And that he explained that political theory to me back when I was 14, 15, 13, I don't know.
Somewhere.
It's nice to have any 14-year-old pay attention.
Long before your Army career.
Yes, long before.
Take us through a little bit of your life, because you're Mr. Mayor. We see you everywhere. You're at the Women in Need, putting shovel to ground there. You're at a lot of ribbon cuttings. But you got a lot of things going on your plate that I don't know if necessarily everybody understands or knows how busy you are.
I do. I've got a few things going on. The reason I'm able to stay here for some extra time today is because Shippensburg University is having a 2-hour delay, and usually I come right from here 7:30 and I rush off to Shippensburg University and make it just in time for my 10 o'clock class, which is in U.S. and Canadian geography. It's
10
actually
o'clock
a really
class.
good class. Oh, sorry. Did I say 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
I meant to say 8 o'clock.
I'm going to say.
Yeah, I drive really slowly. I meant to say an 8 o'clock class.
Good. Oh my gosh, there must be a lot of delays up there that I just don't know about. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
I'm majoring in getting a bachelor's degree in political science at Shippensburg University using my GI Bill plus money that comes from the Pennsylvania Air National Guard. Not only was I in the Army active duty, but I am now in the Pennsylvania Air National Guard. So 1 week in a month, I'm up in the Harrisburg area at the Harrisburg Airport is where my base is at with the 193rd Special Operations Wing. And there I work on radio transmission equipment. And so I'm a college student. I'm the mayor. I am in the Air National Guard. And also, the mayor is what is called a weak mayor system because it's part-time and doesn't pay enough to live on by itself, which is probably why you usually see retired gentlemen taking this position as mayor. But for me, it's kind of the opposite. It's sort of like getting my feet wet in politics. So whenever I'm not at school, I also have another job. I also work at Sheetz, which is actually a really good job. So so I'm doing a few things in my life.
What's the deal?
And I'm married, too.
And you want to talk about your bride?
Oh, yes, my beautiful bride, Christy. We've been married for 11 and a half years, and she's been incredibly supportive. When I first went into the Army, I sat down with her and I said, I'm thinking about going into the Army. She said, I figured you would. And she said, I figured when your cousin went into Iraq, you'd want to join the Army. And I said, I won't do this without you because it's going to be the both of us. What I mean is without your input is what I meant to say. And she said, I trust you. And exact same thing happened when I ran for mayor. I said, if you don't want me to run, I won't because this is going to definitely affect both of us. And she said, I trust you. So Christy's been great. I love her. I'm very fortunate to have her.
What a good story here.
I think he
Alan?
makes a really good point there. Without that support at home, you can't do these things like Army Reserve, National Guard, and even the political side.
Oh, yeah. You're running from start to finish, and somewhere in there you have to have a life in there. Got the boys on the grill this morning, 12 until 8 o'clock, asking the Borough Council President and also the mayor here some personal questions, getting up front, getting a little bit more personal than we usually do here at News Talk 103.7 FM. When you're talking about political aspirations going backwards instead of a retiree being in there. Before I even ask that, what's the deal with Sheetz and those noises that every time you walk into the place, you got this machine that
the fan that blows down on the door.
God, so annoying.
I know it's annoying, but it is to keep the flies out. And now the store that I work at,
that's true, right, Alan? Have you ever walked into one of those things? Every single time. I know.
They've got 500 stores, Patrick. Whatever it is, it must be working.
See, I can't get any resolve here. I can't get a delay on
Well,
tickets, and I can't get the Sheetz thing out of there.
I'm gonna
That's it. Shut that thing down.
You aren't doing too well this morning.
I'm going to plug my store, number 466. Shout out to all my Sheetz peeps. But number 466 is the one on Wayne Road in Kreiner. It's a little bit out there, a little closer to Martin's bakery. Anyhow, that one does not have the fans coming down. So if you want to walk into a Sheetz, we welcome you at our Sheetz to come there, and you don't have to deal with that. But what it does do at those places that have it is during the hotter times of the year when flies are around, that fan just intimidates the flies or knocks them out or whatever. So hopefully it doesn't do that to our customers.
Man, I don't know. I've been in a lot of convenience stores in my life, and every single time, I don't know how you employees put up with it. It drives me right off the rails. All right, so the question I had for you: political aspirations. Where do you see yourself? I mean, after you and Alan Alan got to watch you grow up, and you're now the mayor. What would you like to do? Is it?
I mean, I have some ideas. I don't want to say too much, but I mean, I'm looking forward to the future, possibly some higher office, but. In the meantime, I definitely want to do a good job here. I definitely want to. There's a lot I still have to learn, and this is a great way to do it. I get right on the ground because this local government, we deal with the state, we deal with the federal on different avenues. So it's a good way. So that's sort of a dodging the question answer.
What a surprise!
I'm a politician.
It's a total home run at this point. Can't get the tickets, can't get Sheetz. Now I can't get an answer out of you. That's great.
We'll see. But there are two positions I do not want: United States President and United States Senator. And I know those are really high. It's not like I just I'll just be president, you know. But those are two positions because president, my goodness, that's a lot of responsibility, and the president gets blamed for international and national issues. A United States Senator. They have to deal on a more posh is the only word I can think of. That's not the right word, but more. They have to deal with the entire state and those aspects. Whereas I look at different things like representative, United States representative. I mean, if I could ever attain to that office, which it's not as likely, but even so. That deals more with the people of your district. And I admire that sort of office more because you have a certain group of people and you have to represent their particular interest, whatever it may be. And I admire the House Representatives, the aspects of even the state House Representatives, the state Senate a little bit more, because they deal more with the people. And so those would be more of my areas of interest. It's still, I still have to work on what I'm doing right now.
Sure.
And we'll see where it goes.
I don't know why you wouldn't want to be president. All you need is a pen, apparently, these days. It doesn't really matter at all.
A pen and a phone.
A pen and a phone. What's that matter? You got a pen? Here's a pen. You get a phone. I'll give you one of those, too.
Yeah, I'd probably be doing I'd probably be referring to the Congress a bit more, because I think the president's powers should be limited. I'm not going to get on my soapbox here, but I really, the Congress was put in place to limit the president, to make sure the president was a king, and I have high regard for the United States Congress, and I think any president in office should respect that position.
Well,
that
certainly
that's
don't
held by
certainly don't
senators
have
and
that right now.
representatives.
So we're out of time.
Yes,
Did you guys want any parting shots this morning? I think you've already shut me down on a whole bunch of no's already. So, Alan, anything else? Any other thoughts on your mind this
I
morning?
really don't think so,
Okay,
Patrick.
well, happy March
I'll
to
probably
you.
think of something as soon as I walk out of
That's
the door.
fine.
We'll get it next
Happens
week.
to me all the time.
We'll get it next week.
Mr. Mayor, anything else for you?
If you want to find me on Facebook, my Facebook account is facebook.com/dbrown17201, and I put updates. If there's once we get the more of these shows uploaded to YouTube, we'll put them there. And you go ahead and find me, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, on Instagram too, Darren Brown, and I'm glad to have you.